When did a good habit turn into a nightmare? It started when my 10-year-old son, Leo, suddenly became the most polite kid in the world. My husband, Mark, and I were so proud. He started saying please and thank you for everything, holding doors open for strangers, and calling his teachers sir and ma'am. We bragged to our friends, we told our parents. We felt like we'd finally won at parenting. For about a month, it was perfect. Then, it got weird. The first sign was when I saw him talking to the furniture. He bumped into the coffee table and whispered, "Pardon me, table." Later, I saw him hold the fridge door open for a moment after taking out the milk, as if he were letting someone pass. Mark thought it was hilarious. He said, "Look at him, he's so polite he's being nice to the house." We laughed it off as a funny little quirk, but the quirks kept getting stranger. His politeness toward us became cold and formal. It wasn't mom and dad anymore, it was mother and father. At dinner, he'd say things like, "Mother, would you be so kind as to pass the potatoes?" Or, "Father, your work story was moderately interesting." The warmth was just gone. It was like living with a tiny, serious butler who was judging us. Then, small things in the neighborhood started happening. The Miller's dog next door, a grumpy old terrier that always barked at Leo, just disappeared. When I mentioned it to Leo, he just looked at me with his big, empty eyes and said, "That is unfortunate for the Millers." No sadness, no curiosity, nothing. A week later, the class guinea pig died on his watch. The teacher sent a note home saying Leo had been very responsible and had given the pet a thorough cleaning right before it died. She meant it as a compliment, but it sent a shiver down my spine. The breaking point came on a Saturday when I was changing his bed sheets. My hand brushed against something hard under his mattress. It was a small, black, leather notebook. I know I shouldn't have looked, but a feeling of dread washed over me. I opened it. His neat, perfect handwriting filled the pages, but these weren't diary entries. They were observations, page after page of them. Mrs. Gable across the street leaves her back door unlocked from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Very unsafe. Liam from my class is allergic to peanuts. His mother still packs him cookies that are made in a factory with nuts. It went on and on. There was even a page about us. Mother cries in the shower when she thinks no one is listening. Father drinks 2 glasses of whiskey every night after I go to bed. My blood ran cold. This wasn't politeness. This was surveillance. He was studying everyone, finding their weaknesses, their routines, their secrets. The good habit wasn't a habit at all. It was a cover. I wanted to scream, to confront him, to shake him and ask him what was wrong with him, but I was genuinely scared. What was he planning with this information? I closed the book, put it back, and walked out of his room with shaking hands. That night, I decided I couldn't fight this with anger. I had to fight it with his own methods. I went out and bought a notebook identical to his. I sat at the kitchen table and started writing. I left it on the counter where I knew he'd see it before school. In my notebook, I wrote my own observations. Leo has a loose floorboard at the back of his closet where he hides things. Leo thinks no one notices him watching them from his bedroom window after dark. And then, I wrote the most important line, the one I hoped would end this silent, creepy war. Leo believes his little black book is his secret. He is mistaken. Perhaps he should find a better hiding place than under his mattress. The next morning, I came downstairs early. The notebook was still on the counter. Leo was already at the table eating his cereal. He didn't look up, but I felt him watching me. The air was thick with a strange tension. He finished his breakfast, put his bowl in the sink, and as he walked past me, he said, "Have a good day, Mom." Just Mom, not Mother. The change was so sudden it almost gave me whiplash. I waited until I heard the school bus pull away before I rushed to his room. I looked under his mattress. His little black notebook was gone. I searched his closet, under his desk, everywhere. It had vanished. Later that afternoon, when I was taking out the kitchen trash, I saw it. The notebook was at the very bottom, torn into hundreds of tiny, confetti-sized pieces. We never spoke a word about it. The extreme cold politeness stopped. He was just my son again. But even now, years later, sometimes I'll see a look in his eye, a flicker of that cold, calculating observation, and he'll see me notice it. And we both know the game is over, but we also both know how it was played.